So first.
Absolutely.
And I was like,
let's dig it all up.
Oh, no.
True.
You'll never guess.
So sidebar. Yes.
And also, I feel like I shouldn't have to remember everything.
I know.
Actually, I have to talk about this.
3, 2, 1.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is Also Podcast, a morning edition. We got our coffees. Well, I don't drink coffee. I have a matcha.
She has her fake coffee.
No, I won't even
in
pretend
a coffee
it's coffee.
cup. You're like,
well, what is a matcha cup? What am I supposed to drink out of?
Go find a new cup?
I guess technically matcha is an Asian drink, and they could give us a more traditionally Asian cup if needed.
That is something we are not going to dive into. The complexities of cups that drinks should be served in.
I don't care enough. Okay, before we get into the episode, check us out on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Patreon. All the links are in our description. And please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. Okay, Meredith, what's your small celebration?
I took a day off this week to try to regroup, and I feel like I'm really proud of myself for actually dedicating some time after a chaotic month. So I'm trying to get better about putting me in the order of to-dos because I don't.
That. We should really use more PTO as just a day off to do nothing.
I have sick days, and they told us we can use them as mental health days. So, baby, I'm going to use all of those.
I'm mentally sick all the time. What are we talking about?
Yeah, actually. And you do this to me, so you deserve to help me
100%.
fill my cup back up.
100%. I love that. And how are you feeling? A little mentally better?
Yes and no, because I did not use any of it to clean my apartment like I need to, but that's okay.
That's okay.
We have Memorial Day
use
weekend, lounging around, working on the podcast, doing things I love.
That's fine. Mentally, that's perfect.
I think I'm going to hire someone to clean my apartment once a month because I absolutely hate cleaning.
I want to do it just to get a deep clean in. I was debating being should I just hire someone like you said, once a month, once a quarter even.
Yes.
And just do a really deep clean. Because I
need
get
them
it.
To reset it for me.
Yes. There's fucking vent. How do I get up to the vents to get the dust? You know what I mean?
And I don't want to.
I don't want to. I could figure it out if I cared that much.
But it makes me feel like, I should be able to handle it all. It's I live in a tiny apartment. I should be able to clean it. But yeah, I want to hire someone.
My mom had, growing up, a cleaning lady that came either once a week or once every 2 weeks because she told my dad, I have a job, there's 3 kids, I have to take care of those kids because I'm a teacher, so I get off at the same time. You want me to cook dinner and clean every day? I don't think so. And so my dad had to pay for a cleaning lady.
We had one too. And I still had to clean my room. My room was not touched by a cleaning lady. It was all the common areas. And I still had to clean whenever the cleaning lady wasn't there. I think ours was monthly. That it's a service. It's a job. And if I can afford it, and I don't want to do it. Because I have been thinking I could basically earn, I feel what the cleaning lady costs for an hour, let's say, or 2 hours. In the time. So, it's a better use of my time to actually, go.
There you go.
And I could employ someone.
No, I love that. A 10 out of 10.
I'm going to do it.
Should we do it? I feel like we should do it. Okay, let's just do it.
And that's very privileged of us to say, and I totally understand it. And I'm going to utilize the things that I can afford.
It was very privileged growing up that we were able to also have cleaning ladies. We acknowledge. But great. It's one of those things, one of those splurges that we'll just make for ourselves.
Definitely. Okay.
We do penny pinch in a lot of areas, though. I do want to.
That's a thing.
We could afford a cleaning lady, but there's a part of us that doesn't want to because money. But the
value of my dollar is drastically different based on what it is being spent on.
Yeah.
And the value of somebody else cleaning for me, astronomical investment right there.
There you go. Okay. Sorry, I missed when you asked me. Ask me again.
Yeah. What are you celebrating this week, Alicia?
Okay, my mom is coming into town today.
Yay!
She's coming for Memorial Day weekend, which is fun, but also a little stressful. She's staying in my apartment, which is fine. I would have it no other way. The economy, she shouldn't have to get a separate hotel. No. And I get that. But no, I will be on the couch. Fine. Also, though, mothers can be stressful.
Yeah.
I'm excited, a little nervous, but it'll be fine.
2 things can exist at the same time. What a joy. However, having somebody in your space when you live alone is just crazy. It doesn't matter how much you love them. It's I have to operate with another person in this tiny space.
And I know, listen, my mom, whenever she comes to my apartment, she's so rude. She leaves her shoes on. And I go, how dare you disrespect me the way you won't allow in your house, but you'll do it in mine. And I just know this is the first time she's staying like a weekend with me. Usually she just comes for a visit and then leaves and goes back to her hotel. She's going to do shit. And I know I'm going to be like, how dare you disrespect my space? I already see it coming, but that's okay. Well,
I have those issues too. Mine are about like clutter. Like I get so overwhelmed when people unpack their bag all over the apartment. And I'm like, can you not? My parents are coming in the fall. And I was like, listen, I'm giving you a 6-month notice that you cannot do this. Because they're bringing my nephew too. And I'm like, you need to control the 3 of you.
Yeah. And I hate to tell everyone this, but actively, I live out of a suitcase a lot throughout my years. Just traveling and like visiting friends, you put everything back in your suitcase.
Yes.
And
or at least have one corner that is like coming out of. You cannot explode all over.
You don't have to like zip your suitcase up, but just put it all in that and then stick it in the corner.
Like you can open it wide. You have double the space to pile it all up.
Absolutely ridiculous. I know my mom's about to spread out too. Can't be a thing. It's fine.
Joyful.
Well, deal. No, but she already I am a little, okay, because I was telling Meredith, my body woke me up at 4:45 this morning after not going to sleep until 12:15 a.m. because I had to clean my apartment. You know how it is. And so I'm fucking tired. And I was like, damn, I would really love a nap. But I already know my mom has booked us to the 9s this weekend. She's like, oh, I want a relaxing weekend away. Hey, I booked tickets to this. We're going to do this. We're going to do. And I was like, bring your book because at some point I'm going to kick you out of my apartment and you better find a coffee shop because I'm sick of you already.
Okay, I think our families are very similar where they are go, go, go mentalities. And my therapist is always like, why can't you just sit down and relax? And I'm like, I've never known that ever in my life. My family is constantly booked and busy and my family won't tell me. So when I go see them, I'm at their mercy. My
mom's like, hey, guess what we're doing today?
Yeah, my parents are like, we're going to the Cardinals game. You ready? And I'm like, no.
Absolutely. No, my mom does that too, but instead she's like, we're having people over. And I'm like, I just stepped off. The worst part is being in your parents' home and then having to host not your people. And you're like, I have to okay, great.
Alicia, that happened last time I was there. My uncle came and my uncle was like, where are the towels? I don't live here.
I don't live here.
I don't know. I didn't
Find
do
them
the
yourself.
laundry.
Well, I hate when someone comments about my parents' home and I go, I complain to the host.
Yeah, right there.
I don't pay for this. I have my own separate thing. Of course, my mom was
asleep. I was like, yeah, cool. I now own the responsibility here. But no, I don't know where
looks like you're air drying, Uncle. Figure that out. Grab a sheet off the bed for all I care, but get lost.
I don't have anything. I'm not giving you the 2 towels that I save every time.
And I think that's why we like to sometimes travel alone. Because I get to decide. My thing now is even if I travel alone, I'm like, I have to do things. Because my mom instilled it in me of we may only visit this place once. We have to hit it so hard, which isn't always true.
I know.
But I was like, so now that's what I do, which I know is what she's doing, even though she's been to New York so many fucking times. But I digress. Now my thing when I travel and I'm in charge of the schedule, I do one thing a day and minimum.
Yeah.
But that's kind of it.
My mom
I'm doing a food tour.
Unravel it. My dad is more so the antsy, I don't want to waste time. And I do understand that. Let's not sit in a hotel. I'm all about that.
For sure. But we could sit outside.
Yeah, has unraveled me to be like, okay, let's do max of 2 things a day. And then we just go sit somewhere. And my parents love to drink. So let's go sit by a river and have a few drinks. That is doing something. So that's enough for me to be I'm doing something.
Same.
And I'm not wasting my time while not exhausting myself at once.
Okay, great. The best. Anyway, this was a really good vent session.
We would be great.
We would be great because we would also, I'd be like, I just need 20 minutes to myself. And
100%.
You'd be like, I beg of you.
Because we've solo traveled enough. And when I was in Italy with my friend in the fall, we met through work houses. Like we would just like work remote in the houses. So we learned to live our lives like completely separately, but like while in the same house. So her and I had a good system of like, oh, if we both want to do something, yeah, let's go do it. But like, if I want to do something and you don't, no worries. I am good on my own.
Agreed. We could do that. That sounds good. Yeah. This was a great vent session. Thank you so much.
100%.
Should we get into news? You got any news?
Yes.
Oh, I have. Okay, you go.
I have something because I just got a text that reminded me and that I saw it come through. Did you see that Huda and Louis broke up? Or whatever his name is.
No, but like, thank God.
Also, in their statement, it was very the PR statement, like, we love and respect each other, da-da-da-da-da, whatever. I didn't know this, is like a singer? And like has a music video out? That's what I just got texted to me, is like her music video.
Is it good?
I haven't seen it. I heard in her statement, I think she mentioned that she's focusing on her music while, like, they're both focusing on being good parents, da-da-da-da. But I don't know. I just did not know that she was interested in music at all.
Well, her whole shtick on Love Island was she was a mamacita, so like, and she was nuts on it. Quite honestly, she was fucking nuts. No, I'm glad they broke up because I think that's necessary after what happened. And if you don't know, basically Huda and Louis from hot is love is
too hot to handle.
Yeah.
Were you about to say Love is Hot on the Spectrum?
I don't know any of these Netflix shows anymore.
So, one of the Netflix shows.
You're right. It was Too Hot to Handle. They were dating. Huda's obviously a mother. Louis a father. They're separately have children.
Thank God.
And then there was one big fight where like Louis and Huda got in a fight and Louis went to his baby mama's house. I think her name's Nicole. And like Huda followed him there and was sending him like thousands of text messages and was like, I'm outside the house, and was like trying to get in, and she was threatening to kill herself and just like this whole fucking thing. And then they got back. It seemed like they were back together for a while after the news broke, which that's fucking nuts because like,
I know.
Louis' baby or like child's mother got a restraining order from Huda.
Because Huda got into the apartment.
Yeah, that would make it really complicated.
The complex, not the
Yes. But it would be like really complicated if you were dating someone who had or was not allowed to see your child. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Be within like 100 feet, because that means she can't come to pick up drop-offs. Like, that really complicates the organization of your life.
Yeah, so like, they should, if not because of the crazy shit that happened, just logistically, like, what's best for the child, you should probably break up. I don't know what's happening to Huda's kid.
Hey, if you think that man's cheating on you with his ex, that's the time to break up anyways.
Sure.
If your girlfriend is being crazy over you being at your ex's house, if nothing's happening, that's a time to break up. I'm glad it's over.
Also, you know what? Shout out to all the crazy Huda defenders, because I still don't know how you're doing it. But to live in that level of delusion must be
exhausting.
Awesome. Whatever you're on, I wish I had. You know what I mean?
I don't want it.
Well, I wish I was just that out of this world, because sometimes I don't want to be here.
Well, yeah, but I get that, but it scares me for how they're acting in their own lives.
Yeah, that's crazy. But, like, shout you out. It takes a special person to be that crazy. You know what I mean?
That
takes a special
perfectly
person.
Said.
Shout out. Okay, so they broke up. Great.
Yep.
Other news?
I don't really think I have any.
News.
Okay.
I have some. Alex Cooper's pregnant with her husband, but there's a lot of controversy around her husband and her relationship currently. Apparently her husband's a big old asshole.
Which, I mean, I can see it. To be honest, I feel like I would, if I had the empire they do, I think I would also be an asshole. I'm going to be so honest.
No. I feel like because you've been treated shittily by assholes, you wouldn't want to be one.
I just think I would have a high bar that other people may not want to live up to that same standard. And so I think sometimes I don't think I would be, like, yelling at anybody, but I would talk sternly, and I would have I'm a perfectionist. So, like, I can understand somebody asking a lot of someone, but I've heard he's also, like, a yeller and makes the vibes
at people.
off. Yeah.
And, like, here's the thing you have to understand. If it's your company, no one's going to care as much as you.
Yes.
So you have to understand that, like, your employees, I mean, look at us. I'm only going to do what I'm paid to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not going to break my back for any company I work for because I don't own it.
That's so true.
As a founder or CEO, you have to understand those things. You have to know, like, if I want people to care more, I have to pay them more, give them more incentive to care. And if you're paying me, I don't know, $100,000, I'm only gonna care $100,000 worth. You know what I mean? And then you don't have to yell at me on top of that. Is my thing.
I wouldn't be a big yeller. I would just my tone in emails is very aggressive, which I appreciate. It gets the job done, but it's usually to a lot of older white men, which I do love sparring with.
I feel like if it was you had to cultivate a culture, you would be aware of that.
It would be hard for me to hire because I am very particular on the people who would work for me.
You just might, not have a lot of people who want to work for you.
Mm-hmm.
Which would suck. But
well, I think it's the people I would like, because I think the people he's yelling at, I don't think he likes. And it's like, don't hire people you don't want to work with.
But they might be good employees is like the thing. He might be an asshole. Don't defend this white man to me, Meredith.
No, I'm just saying.
You're not going to win.
I think it's tough to run an entertainment business, so I understand it. But also the vibe thing is not cool. The things I've heard are insane that he said. They also had a lot of turnover in their exec level, which that tells you everything, because those people get paid the most.
Incentive.
Probably, have the highest incentive. And if you can't keep those people happy, because I think I understand when companies are annoyed with, like, entry level, because those people care the least.
Yeah, but you have to understand, you're not going to get an entry level person who's going to break their back for
100%. But I get where, like, people are like, can you just fucking do your job?
But no, that's the thing. I think if he's yelling and mistreating execs, that speaks a lot.
That shows
but, like, also,
a lot.
He shouldn't have access to the entry levels. He shouldn't have access to them. If he has an issue, go to the boss.
100%.
As someone who's worked for a lot of founder-owned businesses, like, that is a big gripe of mine. And your culture that you cultivate, even if you're like, I just like things a particular way, I'm stern, whatever, it doesn't matter, because it all reflects back on you. So if
100%.
If I go around and say it's a bad culture, it comes back on the founder. And that is the two of them.
And that is the vibe too. It's like people get way too involved, and it's like, you are a high-level position. Why are you involved in this conversation? You add no value here outside of wanting to micromanage this. It's weird.
Yeah.
I just hate businesses. I think people suck in general. I hate being in business with people.
So they're pregnant.
Oh, also, there's a lot of controversy with Alex Cooper aside, that in an episode of her early days of Call Her Daddy, before she got married, so Matt's not involved with the husband, that she made weird comments about somebody's kids, and people are like, we all knew this day would come, that one day you would have kids, and now you're probably going to want to protect and care about your kids and have your kids spoken about well, and look what you've done to others. Like, you can't turn this back. You can't unsay the words.
What'd she say? Do you remember?
That I don't know. I've never really, like, listened to her podcast frequently, but I think it was about... It was a kid named Alessi, which I know that one of the Bachelor contestants and his wife, daughter's name is Alessi, and I don't know if that's the kid, if that's the Alessi. But
okay. Well, Alex Cooper, good luck. I've heard Unwell is like a terrible place to work. Like, truly. Again,
they
someone
just also aren't hitting their marks. Like, I've heard every podcast that they've ever started just does not have the star power that Alex's does. A lot of them they've acquired then if they are bigger, which is a good business move. Their like TV show and other type of entertainment, just it falls flat. Because I think the problem is, like, the whole draw is Alex Cooper, and it's hard when you're that big of a star for anybody to be able to grow within that big of a shadow.
I've just also heard their merchandise sucks. Like, those drinks are not doing well.
Oh, I've heard those drinks are terrible. I watched a review once.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends who are, like, in the social media, kind of, like, the production space. So they've looked into, like, Unwell, and they're like, it is just not a good, like, company to attach your name to.
No.
Like, the minute...
It doesn't make sense either. Like, the name Unwell does not spark any joy in me.
Someone did like a taste test for one of the drinks and like drank it and was like, I feel unwell now. And I was like, yeah, rough. Super rough. Okay, so Alex Cooper, Empire.
Rough time.
Yeah, rough times.
On the baby?
Did you hear about the controversy with the Harry Styles concert?
Yes. And as someone who's not a concert person, I find this stuff fascinating.
Yeah, so basically, Harry Styles is on his huge-ass concert. One of the only stars to really get a sellout concert tour because, you know, we all are pinching pennies. It's the economy. A bunch of people have canceled.
How much were those tickets?
Well, I heard like the VIP, the ground tickets were like up to 2,000, 3,000.
Oh my God.
Pounds, because he was in London
Oh my God.
I don't know how much they are in the US. I didn't even look. But he has this giant stage, right? That's like a track.
People are calling it a racetrack.
It's a racetrack. And in the racetrack, there are like speed bumps that he runs up and down. But the thing is, if you're on the floor, you can't, these speed bumps are like obstructing your view. And you can't see.
Even the flat parts, like you can basically only see the bump, the incline.
Yeah, it's not like, it's not a great view, basically.
Because I think a lot of people are comparing it to Taylor Swift's because she had that
and
big
Beyonce
stage as well. Yeah,
Beyonce
where, like, the
had
ground
huge.
lit up. And while I think one thing that Taylor Swift does well is she knows how to perform to a very large crowd. It's the one thing that I tell people, if they're not into Taylor Swift, I understand with the music. However, she is a great performer and you have to respect that. If you cannot see a portion of her setup, you will be dazzled by anything else you can see. So if you're missing out on the floor, you still get the backdrop screen. She does all these like interactive things. Her dancers do really well. Whereas with Harry Styles, if you can't see the main racetrack, which isn't even that interesting in the videos I've seen.
But it's huge. Because
it doesn't seem like there's that much going on the backdrop. I've heard he only has 2 dancers that come out in a very small portions. He's just running around it.
Yeah. I think the other thing is like Beyonce and Taylor Swift, when they both did their huge ass tours, they have like one main stage that kind of goes through and everyone surrounds it. And it's flat. And the only lifted part is in the back where the screen is, right? He has this racetrack that's huge. So if you're on one end of the racetrack, you can't really see the other end. It's kind of, and yeah, he just runs the whole time.
You need other people to fill it. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed watching the dancers on Beyonce's tour, Taylor's tour. Like, they became stars in their own right. Because they added something to it. Like, yes, you're there to listen to live music, but you're there to see a holistic performance.
Yeah. People are also upset because Taylor Swift and Beyonce did 3-hour sets of like 45 songs. Harry Styles, his tour is like 22 songs. Or his set is 22 songs. So it's like...
Which I get that because that is standard. Like,
because he's running. No,
Beyonce and Taylor went above and beyond. Like, that is not the norm, so we cannot hold every artist to that.
I agree, but you're paying the same prices. Like, at that point.
That is what's frustrating.
And Harry did the thing where, like, the artist gets more money from the tickets, so they rose the prices. I forget what it's called. The price gouging or whatever.
Where it scales them as like, more people come into the system. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he did that. And, like...
I find that so gross.
Same. But his team did release 2 different statements.
Shut up.
And they basically said they've heard the complaints and they will be making adjustments to the stage, which is crazy because those stages are expensive.
Yeah, but I don't... It's not all about the stage. Like, if you flatten the stage, the problems aren't going away.
They're getting rid of the speed bumps.
Your tour is boring as hell.
Well, men. Never trust men to do a woman's job, okay?
And this is why so many people complain about Justin Bieber's set at Coachella, is you get to do the bare fucking minimum and get praised for it. And while I think it worked for Justin, it cannot work for everybody. And also, that was a Coachella set, not an entire concert.
Don't even get me started on Justin Bieber, dude. I went to one concert years ago. So my sister, it was probably like 9 years ago because my sister was driving, so she was like 16. Oh my, it was a great like show, but he was such a dick, dude. Like, I forgot that he's just a dick. He did his like whole concert, right? And then he just exited like no kind of like thank you. He never like spoke to us. He just like left. And my sister looked at me and she was like, he didn't play like his big songs. He didn't play Sorry. And this was the tour of like the Sorry album, whatever that was. He didn't play like another big song. Like there were big songs he was missing. And my sister was like, that's crazy.
Weird.
When I tell you at the Allstate Arena, the lights came on, right? And we're sitting there. And then, like, people start to leave, but my sister's like, well, I have to drive, and, like, I want to wait for the parking lot to kind of be empty because I don't want to hit anyone, so we'll just sit here. So we were sitting there, and then all of a sudden the lights come back down. Justin comes back out, and he's like, these are my real fucking fans. Like, everyone who left's a fucking loser, and they don't deserve to be here.
I don't
and then
like that.
He played, like, his last few songs, and then, like, and we were like... It was around the time when it was speculated he was on, like, a lot of drugs. But I was like, Jesus Christ.
No, because the entitlement is crazy in that. If the lights come on, the concert is over. I am ready to go home, no matter how much I love you or not. Also, a lot of those people might be kids and have no choice.
No, literally. But to be clear, this was like 10 fucking years ago. He probably is maybe a little less dickish now. But I remember my sister and I were like, what a fucking weirdo. Anyway, one more piece of news to educate myself. Luke from Summer House is running for Congress, and he's putting in his bid. And I said, what's he running on? Because he's running as a Democrat, but I am interested. What inspired him to run was after all the ICE raids in Minnesota. He was unhappy with that, which that's amazing. We all should be uncomfortable and unsatisfied with that. He is running on great ideas. He wants to protect Social Security and Medicare, stand up for union workers, lower the cost of essentials, address the healthcare crisis. And basically, like, he seems like he has a good idea. And he is going after, like, I think a four-time winner Republican nominee.
Oh, yeah, incumbent, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's going to depend on, like, if the people in his jurisdiction are ready for change. But I think he, like, wants to do something about it. You know what I mean? So in like a positive way.
Okay, I do have a question about this, and you may not know it because obviously you like looked this stuff up prior. Mm-hmm. Does he have any of like how he's going to do it? Because I feel like a big thing that I really loved with Mamdani when he was running for mayor is he had not only things he wanted to achieve, but I feel like he had some of the roadmap also laid out with like the billionaire tax and some other taxes and wanting to have free buses and things in transportation around New York that I really believed in his plan. It didn't just feel like, hey, these are the things that people complain about. I'll make them happen. Yay, vote for me.
Okay. I am going to say I'm more uneducated in that spot as far as like Congress goes. Because I feel like in Congress it's harder to pass shit.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Like AOC is in Congress, and I feel like she gets everyone's like, she never does anything, but she tries to speak on things, and then people like, her things never get passed. So like, that's more that. So I feel like Luke, it would be more, like Mamdani got the city of New York, right? So he can just do shit. He has more
control, yeah.
Yeah, in this small area, where I feel like Luke would go to Congress and advocate for things.
And be a vote,
be a vote for change.
Especially because I didn't know that his district is Republican currently. So being able to flip that seat is just a huge win on its own. I know I've said prior, like, don't just vote for Democrats just because they're Democrats. But there is a side of it that you also do just need to vote for Democrats to get Democrats to vote for things. To have the power to change things in Congress. But I think it also shows how much more we need to focus on our local elections. Like, look at everything Mamdani has done. We really need to show up for those small elections. It bothers me so much when people don't vote. It pisses me off.
No, literally 100 days. And he's like, put this man in the White House at this point. He would solve this country in 5 minutes.
Unfortunately, our system is so broken. He can't.
I know. But, like, put AOC and Bernie, you know what I mean? But I feel like just to give Luke as a voice, like I said, I don't know a ton of, like, how Congress works. It seems not like a nightmare, personally.
It's a giant circus, because anytime something is in front of cameras, people are lunatics on both sides. I'm going to be honest. Sides. It's a big show. And then behind the scenes, I bet they're like, oh, hey, what's up to each other in the halls.
Yeah, I do think it's good he's going to stand up for union workers because with the way corporate America runs, there should be more reunions, address healthcare crisis, and he's a blue-collar worker, so I feel like...
Yeah.
It's interesting that because usually blue-collar workers lean more, I feel like, conservatively. However, the world is changing. Yes. Yeah, like a lot. Yeah, you know what? Do your research. Like I said, I don't know if he will personally be like, I can get this done, or if he's just going to be a voice for advocating for change.
Yeah.
But either way, he seems to like really fucking care. I saw he submitted his bid. Oh, also he loves women's sport. He loves the Minnesota Lynx basketball. So he put that on his thing.
That's
but
so funny.
He did submit his bid. He did look disgusting, but you know,
maybe that's what his district wants. You got to appeal to your district.
No, he looked like he got lost. Like he looked awful. I will say, someone made fun of him. I know exactly who it is. I won't call it out, but someone made fun of him and was like, men will seriously do everything except go to therapy. And they'll run for Congress before they go to therapy. And I was like, hey.
I actually feel like Luke goes to therapy. So I think he's doing both.
Also, like, that's not how you would use this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not, oh my God.
The problem is that you don't know if he's going to be a good or a bad politician. Truly, you don't know how people are going to be until they are voted in and have the power.
Yeah, I would like to say.
Tough to say.
Everyone was nervous about AOC, and she might be one of my favorites.
Yeah.
That's all the news I got. Should we get to reading?
Yes.
Okay, I really haven't read after Project Hail Mary, but I finished. Did I tell you already that I finished it?
No, you have not.
I finished it.
Like halfway through, you said the science was a lot, but you were powering through, and the guy was funny.
Wow, the book was incredible. The twists and turns, I did not know where we were going, but it wasn't ever like a like a jump scare twist, but it was kind of like a like something would change and then I'd be like, oh my God, we have to change course, basically. Like new problem to solve, but very good. Very good.
Premise, I don't think this is a spoiler, that he gets like drugged and wakes up alone in like a space station. And he has to figure out how to go home.
Earth is dying, right? Earth is under attack by this organism that we don't know. So he helps kind of like discover it, right? But then they're like, we need people to go to space on basically a suicide mission to like figure out how to destroy this thing, send the instructions back to Earth, but you won't have enough fuel. So like 3 astronauts will die. And he originally wasn't going to be on the ship, but he ends up on the ship through a lot of stuff. But when he wakes up, he is alone because his friends or comrades or coworkers didn't make the trip because it was like a 14-year, they were knocked out in comas, 14 years into space.
Shut the fuck up.
And then he wakes up from the coma, but his friends don't. And so
they were on the ship. They
were on the ship. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're put in a coma.
I'm thinking they didn't make the ship. I would lose it if I woke up and you guys all decide not to get on.
No, you're on a ship for 14 years in a coma. Like, things can go wrong. And there's no one else. It's like up to machines to keep. So, yeah. So he wakes up and he basically has to solve this problem by himself. But when he wakes up, he doesn't remember even like his name. So, because he has coma brain. So he's like learning as he's going. Like, literally the first chapter, he's like, why do I know all about space, but I have no idea what my name is? So he doesn't even know how he got here. And then throughout the book, he's like slowly getting memories back too. So you go back to see how he got there. But yeah, very good book. Very good book. Oh, 10 out of 10.
I'm going to read it one day. I've heard the audiobook's really good, so I do want to listen to the audiobook. I think it's just like 14 hours. And so like that feels like a big commitment.
Oh, that's not bad. No, it was really good.
But it just seems like a lot. Like the audiobooks I listen to for my TikTok series are like 6. So I'm like, that's true. That's like 2 weeks.
Yeah. But no, it was a really great book. A 10 out of 10 read.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah. Well, can I tell you that I finished Role Model. Is that the name of it?
Yeah, the Troy book and the heated rivalry game changers.
I have to be honest that
Did you hate it?
No, but after reading about rivals and the like high stakes that is, it like falls a little flat because you're like, it's so much more interesting to have two of the hockey players in it and like the like stress of their relationship that I'm like, oh, Troy's just is more simple, but it like still deserves respect of how stressful that is for him. But it just like I like compared it to Shane and Ilya's stress, and I'm like, okay, I just gotta let it go. But I didn't love it, the story overall. It just like didn't capture me the same way that Shane and Ilya did.
Fucking duh, Meredith. Oh yeah, you know what? Apples aren't as good as chocolate cake. No, duh.
So it was good.
I'd so much rather be watching TV than getting a colonoscopy.
Can I give my review? This is why I never bring up books. You kind of ruin it for me, I'm going to be honest. But let's move on.
No, it's okay. But I think also I liked it better, I think, than you probably would have, because I hadn't read The Long Game, which I think is the best book.
Yeah.
So I'm
excited
that
to see them weave together for the show, but yeah.
I also just liked Ilya showing up. And you didn't read like the really bad books in the middle, which were worse.
Sense.
So
yeah.
It's all about how you read.
Okay.
I think.
Want to go into watching?
Yeah, you have Survivor shit to tell me, huh?
Yes, I've got a lot to tell you. Okay, I'm going to structure this into 3 parts, okay? Because first I'm going to tell you what this season was kind of about so you get the vibes. And then we're going to talk about all the twists that showed up because this was an insane season. Okay. And then I'm going to tell you about the finale because the finale had a lot of drama unrelated to the winners, if that makes sense. So,
how'd you do in your pool, though?
I got second place. I always get second place. It's pretty brutal, but it's okay. Damn. The person I had that would have won, I didn't want to win, so I would have been angry if I won with him.
Okay.
So, this season was the 50th season. It was titled In the Hands of the Fans. So, during season 48, while that was airing, all of these polls went up. And so we got a vote on what season 50 would look like, but we didn't really get that much information, and also it was like either or question, so truly wasn't in the hands of the fans. We had a multiple choice question set in front of us.
Okay.
So they brought back 24 returning players, and they really did spread it out well between the new era and the old school era. There was an even split between the two. So, you know, the likes of Suri came back, and Coach came back, Colby from the old school era, and then I know you're not presently watching, but a lot of people from the last 10 seasons in the new era. And it's hard because the old school era, a lot of those players have played multiple times. So people, they're beloved. Many of them have played 3 times. And so the new era just doesn't get the same rinse and repeat to be able to build the fandom up. But I was excited about the new era players that were involved. So they immediately hit the mat, and lately they've been doing 3 teams of 6, but there's 24 of them, so they did 3 teams of 8.
Ooh, okay.
So it was fine. They shook them up a lot. Throughout the times, they would, in the 3 tribes, they would, distribute them. They went down to 2 tribes, they redistributed them, and then they get into the individual game. That caused a lot of chaos, obviously, that we don't normally see, but these players know each other outside of the game, so I think it only works for all-stars to be able to do that.
Okay.
That's a lot of stress to put on a normie player.
Fair.
So it's already chaotic, in the structure of the game. Then they add 1,800 twists. Alicia, I'm not joking. Every single episode, there was some major twist that completely changed the game, that it became a little bit too much, and a lot of the fandom was the game is now playing the players rather than the players playing the game.
I don't like that.
No. So here's some of the twists they included. They had a Billie Eilish boomerang idol, which meant that the person who found the idol had to give it to somebody else. And if that player got voted out with the idol in their pocket, it did come back to the original person who found it.
If a player found an idol and gave it to someone else and that person was voted out
with the idol in their pocket.
Did that happen? Why wouldn't you just keep your idol?
You are not allowed to.
If I find an idol, I have to give it up.
You have to give it up.
Stupid.
Which I think is an interesting idea in theory, but it never worked in practice.
No.
In every original tribe, there was one. So 3 of these were out there. So it did immediately put idols into play, which was kind of nice. But yeah, they didn't really get used well because I think they came in too early for, like, let's say I gave mine to you. We were on different tribes. They always, like, sent him to a different tribe.
Mm-hmm.
It's so long until we would possibly meet up that I could blindside you to get my idol back.
Yeah, at that point, you don't know if I have used it or not, because I've been... But also the chances are low.
And then once they merged and hit the beach all together, immediately everybody knows about every idol. Everybody's, like, gossiping and telling things. And so it's like, this was dumb. Like, we just have 3 idols out there.
What's the saying? 2 can keep a secret if one of them is dead. That's why when you find your own idol, you fucking keep it and don't tell anyone.
Yeah, this group, especially because they do all know each other, immediately things were shared. Like, nothing stayed a secret. I think one thing stayed a secret the entire time, one advantage, which just makes it so dumb.
All right.
Okay, the next twist that happened was they called it like a blood moon, lunar eclipse. Jeff made it so fucking dramatic, but after
don't get me started
merged,
on Jeff.
Just like, you're actually gonna find one of these so funny. After they merged, they were temporarily divided back into 3 tribes, and all 3 tribes went to tribal council and had to vote someone out. So they got 3 people out that night in random groupings, and 2 people were sent to Exile Island, so they were safe, and they had no clue what was going on. And so that one was fun because they had a lot of people to get out within. They already started with like 6 more players, so I knew they would have to rapidly get people out. So I think that one was a fun one in order to get us down a little bit.
Okay.
Another time they had to get multiple people out at once was they paired everybody up for the challenge. Again, we're in a merged tribe.
Okay.
They compete in the challenge together, and then the winning pair, both of them get immunity idols. They now are stuck in their pairs and will be voted out together. You don't have to vote together, like you and your pair do not have to vote for the same person, but you have to vote for a pair.
Oh, interesting.
I liked that one.
Oh, okay. I can get behind that one. But I think they have
to wait a few years to use that again because I think it'll really change. Like, they just paired up for no reason. And so that kind of made it really fun.
Yeah. Okay. I don't mind that one.
Yeah.
But I feel like that one could be bad if, like, it depends on the season and the people, I think.
I agree. Okay. I think it's a tool that could be used. They need to perfect it with non-all-stars and not the shock factor being there.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they had no idea. They just, like, Sari didn't pair up and then had to go to Exile Island. And she was like, thank God I didn't get in a pair.
That would also stress me out if I'm on, like, an all-star season. Like, bro, I've played this game a bunch, and now you're just throwing shit. Let me live. I'm tired.
I know. And every time they announced this shit, they would blame it on the fans. They were like, and the fans did this to you. And it's like, whoa. I didn't get a choice in this.
Well, you gave us a choice of, like, which things we would rather see. And then you did all of them.
Yes.
You didn't ask us how many twists we wanted.
No, and it was like, do you want them to start with rice or not? Which color buff do you want them to have? Like, it was not.
They're like, you're starving because the fans said so.
They would literally say that to the contestants.
Damn, I would never go back on the show then. Fuck the fans.
The contestants were like, I'm pissed at the fans, but, like, I get it, because they would be like, I also voted for this stuff.
No, be pissed at Jeff.
Yes.
Be pissed at Jeff.
Well, here's a time they can take their anger out on Jeff a little bit. One of the things voted on was, do you want Jeff to participate in a challenge? And everybody voted yes. So absolutely. Jeff participates in order for the merged tribe to win some rice. They have no food on their island, and they do this every year. That he, like, barters with them. Like, if 3 people drop out of the challenge, I'll give you guys rice. And he usually like cuts the rice bag open to make them decide quicker. So he puts the rice bag up. He's like, who wants to compete against me? I need 5 people. If they outlast me, you guys get rice.
Like, so all really 5 of them?
Yes. All 5 of them have to outlast him. There really wasn't a downside to choose this, but they're bartering with him, and Jeff agrees to 4 people doing it. So Jeff sits there, and I don't know if you've seen this competition where
it was where they
holding a bar, and there's like a rope. Yeah. And so like you can like wind it back, but it's really tough on your forearms. And so Jeff competes in it, and he sits there, and while they start the challenge, Jeff's like, man, 25 years of trash talking has gotten me here. And they show a montage of him doing his worst.
Yeah. Fuck you, Jeff. Because it's not even the shit of like, oh, Alicia like fell and has to go back to the beginning, or like Meredith wasn't able to make it, she'll have to try it. No, it's the shit he's like, oh, Meredith
there's a wobble.
Yeah, there's a wobble. Shut the fuck up. Focus. Uh-oh. Can Alicia take another step? Jeff, shut the fuck up and let me do it. The puzzles when he is like, it looks like Alicia's really close, but she doesn't have it yet. I'm gonna lose it. Yeah. I would punch this man in the throat. So yeah, when I saw this, I was like, they better heckle the fuck out of him.
They do. So some of the contestants get out, not the people who are the chosen four to win the rice. And they try to like heckle him a little bit, but Jeff is struggling on his own, and he has to, I will give him this. They did him wrong by, he still had to narrate the challenge while competing in the challenge. So it made it weird because at times he would be like so silent, and you could tell he's trying to focus on it because he's enjoying it. Like he has always said, like, I've always wondered what it was like too. And so when a few contestants get out, they're not doing a good job of narrating this. They're trying to heckle Jeff a little bit and like, oh, he's struggling, but nobody is really like doing it justice. I wish they would have brought someone in to narrate it and narrate Jeff the way Jeff narrates Jeff, or like to all the other contestants.
They should have been like, there's one give us one contestant who will not compete at all. You cannot compete for immunity, but you will host the challenge and you will get to heckle Jeff. I'd be like, fuck immunity, man. This is what I want. And I would be in his face being like, Jeff sucks ass. Oh my God, Jeff drives me.
Forearms quaking.
Yeah, it looks like Jeff's really sweating there, huh, Jeff? Oh, I'd punch him. Oh,
I knew you would enjoy that one.
Yeah. Great twist to the fans.
Well, one of the worst twists then was, it was called One in the Urn, and this was Jimmy Fallon's twist, because there were celebrities all over this.
I heard he fucked up the whole game.
It was the dumbest thing ever. So, Christian had to go to, sometimes they'll put like a floating barge in the ocean, and you have to go create do a puzzle or something. And this one specific, whenever they put it on a barge, you have to drop an anchor, and then a rope goes, and then like other anchors or anvils will drop off. And the rope is tied to the table that you're doing the puzzle on. So it's like a timer. So at a certain point, the whole thing will be ripped off. Okay. And if you don't complete it in time, you obviously lose. There's always some downside or something you're earning or something. There's something else tied to it. So he shows up, and I forget what the upside...
Jimmy Fallon shows up?
No. Christian shows up to do this. Jimmy Fallon is not there. There's not even a voiceover. It was weird sometimes. They would just like tie a name to this, or sometimes the person would show up.
This is the Jimmy Fallon challenge or whatever.
Yes. And we always knew about it, which bothered me because they put it in the previews that we always knew Christian would survive until this thing happened. This happened way too late in the game. But Christian shows up, he starts doing the puzzle, he doesn't get the puzzle, the whole table gets ripped off. And his punishment is he has an envelope. He has to go read to the group.
Was he the only one that didn't finish?
It was a one person thing.
Did I miss that? Why?
They will
fighting for something?
They call them journeys. So like they'll pick one person to go on a journey. Usually at the start of the game when they're in 3 tribes, it'll be one from each tribe. And so
is it to win something?
Sometimes yes. Sometimes it has a cost where you'll lose something like your vote. Okay. It changes every time. Like sometimes only one person can win something. Sometimes 2 out of the 3 could. There's no standard, which makes it really funny because you have to come back and tell a story and you have to decide what to tell.
Yeah, I love that. Okay.
And sometimes there's other people there that when you merge together, your story gets corroborated or not. But this one is just Christian because they were already merged. So Christian goes to the barge, does the puzzle, fails it, has an envelope he has to take back. If he had won it, he would have been able to put a vote already in the urn before going to tribal council. But he had to decide right then and there who he was going to vote for. So they don't know who the group's voting for. So now the upside really isn't there. Okay. Downside, he takes this envelope, he goes to the group, opens it, reads it. He doesn't know what's inside. It says to the group that he has to vote for himself in that tribal council. And it's like, that is so mean to do. Not only to have him vote for himself, but everybody already knows there's one vote in there for him.
Was that Jimmy Fallon's idea?
I guess. I don't know.
Did he come up with the puzzle or the punishment? Or all
it would have been the punishment he would have had sway in because they've done the puzzle part before.
So Jimmy was like, it'd be so funny if he publicly had to say there's a vote out for himself. Yeah. That's easy. You already got one vote. Sir, it looks like you're getting all the votes.
It snowballed so quickly. People were kind of already on Christian, but this was the nail in the coffin because he had to publicly say it. I think if he didn't publicly say it,
he could have won his way back out. Yeah. Damn. I did see Jimmy Fallon had someone who now I assume is Christian, and he was like, I heard my twist hurt you.
It was terrible.
Well,
so last one, this one I ended up liking, which is so funny because going into it, we had heard Mr. Beast was going to be involved in Survivor.
Oh my God. Stop putting names.
I know.
Blame it on the fans next time. Don't put a name to it.
I didn't even tell you because it wasn't really a twist. It was a reward where Zach Brown from Zach Brown Band came out, and Alicia, 10 minutes of the episode was dedicated to him spearfishing. Not with the contestants, him spearfishing alone. I watched that episode late, and my friends warned me just to fast forward through it.
Spearfishing, like on the Fiji Island?
In Fiji. Because then the contestants got the fish that he caught, but he was like, let them go with you. Why are you alone on the screen?
He just talked for 10 minutes while spearfishing?
Correct.
About what?
Just how much he loves spearfishing, how much he loves Survivor.
You know what? Even famous people who are fans should fucking stay fans. Yeah. Don't get on the shows. Don't fuck around with these shows. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Zach Brown's a fan? Great. Don't get involved.
If you want to pitch because you know Jeff, something cool, and then they end up liking it and they include it, great. But why does it have to be called the Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol? And Alicia, they would drop that full name every single time they talked about it. It was so annoying.
We get it. There are famous fans everywhere.
Yeah.
Great. How about you just pick random people? Oh, Meredith from Illinois. This is her twist.
No, we do not need any names tied to this shit. Okay.
Just keep it Survivor where they're out in the middle of nowhere.
I did enjoy in the end, but we knew Mr. Beast was going to be a part of it because he did a crossover with Jeff in Survivor. And so, they basically ran a Survivor on Mr. Beast's platform. And so then I was like, God, this sucks. He's going to fuck this game up with his chaos. They have a auction. And it was this, chaos or, a prize where, every time they bid on something, there was always a chance that chaos was going to come out. And it didn't really have anything to do with the game. It was just you got a slug and this person got a plate of chicken. That was it. It's you have to eat the slug and they get the chicken. So it was low stakes chaos, but it made the auction kind of fun since it was All Stars. Then at the end of the auction, they immediately go into the challenge, which is so mean, but was so funny. Again, this can only work in All Stars. Somebody wins Immunity Idol. Great. There's going to be some Mr. Beast chaos at Tribal, and they don't know what. And so they're planning on who they want to send home. Bring them all
Teslas or some shit.
Who knows? So they're planning who they want to send home, but they can't really definitively lock it in because clearly something's going to happen.
Depends on the chaos, of course.
Exactly. So Mr. Beast shows up after they've deliberated.
Oh, great. Okay.
He shows up and there is a coin and one person has to flip the coin. If they get it heads or tails correct, they get safe that night at, what's it called?
Tribal Council?
Yes. They get an immunity idol handed to them, and $1 million gets added to the pot.
Ooh.
If they don't get it right, they go home.
Ooh.
Very high stakes, very high risk.
Ooh, I wouldn't volunteer. I'm risk averse.
Well, here's the problem, is the group has to decide who is going to do it. And, everybody has to be in agreement. And one person was majorly on the outs, was going to go home no matter what. They had all decided he knew, and he had no idols. He had nothing he could do.
So he said, let me do it.
He said, I'm in. Let's go. And the group is no, wait, hold up.
But
if you stay... And they still have to vote. If he stays, if he flips it and gets it right, they still do have to get a vote some out.
Hey.
So they don't know who that other person would be.
But listen, I mean, if I'm in a good position, right? I'm not the one going home, but True. Then you present to me this, there's a 50% chance I am going home. This guy's 100%. And then I can worm my way out and we can vote for someone else. So I feel like, yeah, you know what, my guy? You're on the outs. That's the only time I would volunteer. If I knew I was going home, I'd be like,
100%.
All right, let's do it.
And it adds $1 million to the pot. We're now up to $2 million
It's
if he
true.
flips it.
So you kind of want him to stay. But that, yeah, you know. You know what would be perfect if they had a, like, okay, this guy was the number 1 person we want to send home. We have a number 2, like, next week's person or next tribal council person. That would be the guy. The second to go home is the guy I would want to flip, because either way, they're going to stay or they go home and we just change our plans. But obviously, we don't think that far in advance a lot of the time, because this game changes every minute. And Jimmy Fallon's fucking things up.
That number 2 person may feel safe tonight. So, like, they're like, I don't want that risk. Like, that's a huge risk. I'm going to go home.
That's also true. You'd have to convince someone. But, you know, that's tis the game. Tis the game.
So, the guy who's, like, on the out, he's in. Like, the minute this gets announced, he's like, I'll flip. And the rest of the group is like, wait. And so they're like, you know what? Just do it. Like, they're all fans of Survivor that they're like, okay, let's see it. So Rick Devens is the guy who goes up. He gets the coin. It has one side of Survivor, one side of, like, the Beast Games. They decide which is heads and tails. Okay. Flips it. Alicia, it, like, lands perpendicular to the ground. And so it rolls a little bit. So it's, like, this very big dramatic effect of, like, what is it going to land on? It lands. Jeff grabs it. He got it right. Rick Devens got it right.
Nice.
$1 million added to the pot. He's safe tonight. Immunity idol in his hands. Now they have to fucking vote on someone else.
Hell yeah.
It was so... Everybody was,
that's
like,
really
screaming
good.
And just excited for him to, like, get it right for the game of it all. It was so cool.
That would have been fucking lame if he, like, got it wrong and it's like, you were going home anyway. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like, the only way you could get it wrong, it'd be crazy, is if, like, someone who was totally safe running the game was like, I want to do it.
Yeah.
You know, like the head.
I wish we did have people fighting over wanting to flip the coin, because it was just like, all right, like, people just needed a minute to be like, wait a minute, this decision got put in front of us. Like, Rick was immediately like, I'm in, I've nothing to lose. But I wish we had 2 people, like, fighting for it, having to do, like, rock, paper, scissors to go up and do it. But either way, a good all-stars.
It would have been crazy as the person, like, the head honcho, the person who's always safe, probably going to the final, is like, I'm going to do it. And then they get sent home and they don't have $1 million.
Yeah. Or, like, can you imagine if they had to, like, pull rocks for it and it just, like, was a random person?
They should have pulled straws.
Yeah.
That would have been, or I guess, on Survivor, they pull rocks. But, that would have been even better.
I know.
You know what they could have done is like Yankee Swap, where you pick a rock and then you have to show everyone, and either you have it or you don't. So then the next person has to decide, do I want that rock? Like, if I want to be safe, I would just pick your rock if you didn't get it. But maybe I want to. That would have been.
Or, bluffing game. Because they did that in what was called Anonymous, where they would play, like, that bluffing game.
Yes. Oh, they should have, like, Yankee Swap. That would have been. You know what? It was chaotic enough, but that's fun.
But do you see how, like, the game was playing the players? Like, there was so much chaos.
They can't do anything. They can't do anything. Yeah.
Because they would constantly do where, in the merged tribe, they would, like, separate them into 2 groups. There was another one where Jonathan had one immunity idol, but they split him up into 2 groups. And so Jonathan got to vote in both tribal councils, and they were not allowed to be on the beach together. So they had 2 separate sections of the island that the groups were. But Jonathan could walk between the 2. So he could communicate things back and forth, but they weren't really making decisions together. They were just in their 5, like, trying to get like, anybody but me mentality. So, like, that added chaos. Like, you were constantly in these random groups, not with your alliance members, trying to make sure, like, what you want for the game still gets pushed forward.
Interesting. Okay, well, how does Survivor end?
Okay, so before the finale, Suri got voted out, and that was a tough one.
You were fucking kidding me.
I know. I really thought she had a good chance. Like, I was shocked. She was in the final. She was in that double vote where Jonathan was able to walk back and forth. She survived that because she had an extra vote. And that was the one secret that really, like, was locked down between her and her alliance. So she made it out alive in that. But the next vote, she got out. Or I think 2 later. But she got out in the next episode. I was devastated. Yeah.
Nursery.
I know.
the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh.
She was final, I think, 6 player. So then finale happens. There's 5 players left, and they always start with 5, and then they dwindle.
Who were they? I want to see if I recognize names.
Joe, he was in season.
Yep.
Yes.
The with the girl with autism.
Yes.
He regulated her.
He was on it. Alicia, terrible season for him. Like, people hated him both on the beaches and the audience because he had this I'm playing a moral game, and that was the vibe of his season. A little bit more of ride with your group, when you give someone your word, whatever. This group does not play like that. So every vote had to run through him, or somebody had to babysit him to be this will tick Joe off because, we're going against someone. It was annoying. So
dude,
Joe,
you tell Coach or Ozzy and you're like, we got to be moral. We can't
Coach
be corrupt.
loved it. Coach loved it. It was
Coach
so
is
fucking
such
annoying.
a fucking dick, dude. But no, that's not this game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, the best players are the ones that are gonna. My God, the Black Widow Brigade was my favorite fucking alliance ever, and they backstabbed everyone.
Yes, especially in the new era. That is the vibe. Is constantly move and shift and change your alliance.
Yeah. Even Russell, and whenever they did good guys versus bad guys, I was always team bad guys because it's so much more fun. Anyway, sorry, go on.
Okay, so Joe, we have Jonathan. He was in, I think, season 41, the first season of the new era. He's this big strong guy. He in some of the group competitions basically can just pick up the boat for the entire group and do
nice.
it. He is strength. He's gone. Okay. Jonathan, then we have Rizzo. Rizzo was on season 49. Immediately filmed back to back. That guy, very concerned about his body because he basically played 50 Days of Survivor in a matter of weeks. It was crazy.
Half of the first episode before I found out it was 3 hours long. So I am familiar with Rizzo.
Yeah.
I remember him.
RZZGOD. Yeah. Riz God.
Yeah.
He was annoying in his first season, but I think he got a lot more respect in this one.
He immediately got caught going to, what was it, one of the islands with fucking Ozzy and someone else. And he was nice. And I was this fucking kid.
And him and Sari, besties. Their alliance was so cute. But he did help get her out, but a somewhat good move on his part.
Yeah, okay.
Then we have Aubrey Bracco. She has been on many seasons, but she has been a low-key player, I'll say. She was on Michelle's season when Michelle won.
Ooh, okay.
Yes. And so she's got close, but I just don't think she's as respected as the big all-star, And then we've got
she looks familiar. Okay.
Yeah, she wears glasses, brown hair. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
God, why can't I think of the last person?
Ooh, should I look it up?
Oh, Tiffany. Tiffany was on 3 or 4 seasons ago. Great strategic player. I just don't feel like she's good at making the relationships the old school way and having your ride or die alliance, even if you're going to cut them. She also struggled in her season her original one, because this guy Q just completely blew up her game. So this was a good redemption season for her. And I remember when her day that she went out on came, she was I just want to make it past this day. I just want to make it a little bit further. She really was the underdog going into the finale, and so she lost the immunity challenge, and immediately everybody knew she was going to be out, which was a bummer. Yeah,
she doesn't look familiar.
They go into the finale. Tiffany loses, she goes home, and then we go to fire making. The final 4. Aubrey wins the final immunity challenge. She decides Jonathan and Rizzo are going to make fire. And so, that's decided. We see them
what else would they do? Oh, you pick the people to make fire. I was what else would they do?
Well, what's crazy is that was another, fan vote. And we were talking, because I watched it at a bar with my friends, of, what would they do if, the fans didn't vote for fire? Okay, whatever.
Instead of making fire, you're going to make water or make air. Okay.
Cool.
You take the coconut and you just have to fill up so many water.
But it's already stressful because it's Rizzo and Jonathan. Rizzo, he is a new era player. He says multiple times in the season, he will not help with camp life. That is not his mentality. Whereas the old school players are all about camp life, pitching in.
Newbies don't camp?
They do, but they just don't care. The game moves a lot faster. You're just more concerned about the game and staying rather than am I helpful at camp? That's not a factor that goes into their decision making when voting people out. Is do they make fire? Do they help with food?
Oh, can Rizzo not make fire?
Rizzo cannot make fire. I heard later in the episode that he had not made fire once this entire season.
Oh, yeah. If I'm going on Survivor, the one thing I'm going to learn is how to make fire. Similar, if I go on The Amazing Race, the one thing I'm going to learn is how to drive stick. Like, there's just something you do.
And Alicia, he's the player that has played back-to-back seasons, and they filmed him back-to-back. So he just was on Survivor. Like, you had the most time to be good at this. And his season, he lost in fire making at Final Four.
Oh, immediately I'm learning how to make fire. What are you talking about? Suri is going to teach me how to make fire.
Especially once you get close. Once you get to, like, Final 6, like, let me start really working on my skills. You never know where we're going to end up.
No, from the beginning, I'd be like, hey, we're all bored. I actually don't know how to make fire. Can someone show me how to make fire?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So he's not good at it. Joe sits there and helps him, like, with the skills. Like, the actual intention behind it and where to put pressure.
Like, take your flint.
Yeah.
Carve it up, whatever, yeah.
So we see all of that at the beach, and then it cuts to where you assume it's going to go to commercial, and it doesn't. It goes back, because we're having a live finale for the first time in years. It goes back to the main stage. Jeff brings out Rizzo, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe they're going to interview, Rizzo and then Jonathan about, like, fire making. And then Jeff goes, sit down, here's our final jury member. And literally everybody on that stage, everybody in the audience is like, stop, what are you doing? And then they cut to commercial. And I was like, you have to be fucking kidding me. This was the only interesting part of the episode, is like, who's going to win this?
Ooh,
they spoiled who won fire before showing us who won fire. So they come back from the commercial, and Jeff is like, ha ha ha, last twist. We're going to show you the future and then play it back. Like, they tried to play it off, and I was like, no, I want a fucking apology.
Oh, it's because everyone immediately was mad in real time.
In real time. Like, the entire bar I was sitting in was like, what the fuck? Like, even the players up on the stage were like, what are you doing?
Oh, I don't like that.
So bad.
You can't do that in a game.
No.
Oh, yeah.
So then we have to sit there and watch fire. It's the most boring fire I've ever seen. Rizzo, we already know. But also, it's not even interesting to watch, given what I know. Rizzo, absolutely doing nothing.
Do you think that's why they did it? Because you would immediately know?
No, it was not on purpose. It was not on purpose at all.
Well, no. What do you mean? Like, them
it was an accident that they spoiled it.
Oh.
It was not on purpose.
Wait, how is it an accident?
So what happens is Jeff and the crew filming the entire finale live, they're not worried about the show. Like, people are giving them cues to say, like, okay, and now you're in your next segment. So Jeff was backstage while they were showing the show, getting ready for his interview with Rizzo after they showed fire. So when he goes out and they send Rizzo out, he thinks that they've already shown fire. He doesn't know.
Oh, so then he's like...
He's just on his segment.
He can't imagine why he would be introducing Rizzo before we did fire.
Yeah. So he said on CBS,
wait, was that his line he was supposed to use? Like, here's our final jury member?
Yeah, like,
or after... you just said it? Because, I mean, he's a seasoned vet. He doesn't need two cards at this point.
Was supposed to be the same, just reordered after fire was shown. So on, like, CBS in morning show, whatever it was, he was like, no, I had no clue where we were at in the show. They send him out. I'm just doing my segment. And he was like, I saw people on the stage going like, what are you doing? Cut. But, like, he's just in...
He's doing his job.
Mode. Yeah. Yeah, it was not good. So they show fire. Rizzo loses terribly. It was so boring. And then we're at the final 3, and it was fine. I mean, so Aubrey wins. She should win.
Good. Great.
Final, like, where they do the questions, Alicia, was so fucking weird. You have people asking questions where there was no question, and just, like, fawning over one of the final contestants. And then the other jury members would be like, is there a question in there somewhere? Like, what are we doing here? The jury members start, like, chirping at each other like trying to tell the story of all the like final 3, and I'm like, stop talking. This is not your job.
Nope. If the final 3 can't tell me their own story, I'm not gonna vote that way. You
agree?
No.
Like, I think you can ask a leading question that bolsters up whoever you want to win.
Sure,
but you shouldn't be answering the question for them.
The jury members should be silent. The jury doesn't speak.
The first one that was so bad was Stephanie. She sits there and she goes on this long rant about how Jonathan is the total package and he just played a stellar game and all of this stuff. And that's when somebody goes, is there a question here? What are you doing? She goes, yes, there's a question. And then gets to a not really question. And then the final 3 are like, I don't know what to do with this. When Stephanie votes, she votes Jonathan, the total package, and like leans over and is like, he's amazing. And we're all like, girlie, you're married and have kids. What are you doing?
Ew. Yeah, no. I think you can ask your question however the fuck you want. The jury member is not asking the questions. Silent. I don't want to hear one fucking word.
100%.
I do not care. It
was terrible. I hated it. We have a live reading of the vote, so they had to wait 9 months, which I think is so fucking funny.
They used to do that. That was awesome.
Know.
I loved when they did that. My favorite was always when Boston, Rob, and Amber, they didn't know who won, and they had to sit there as a couple.
I think that actually probably helped them as a couple, though. Because
I think so, too.
You have 9 months to enjoy your life before you're maybe a little upset, but now you're more excited for the other person to win because you are in a 9-month relationship, not a 30-day.
I loved it, too, because they didn't have anything to do with it. Like, they didn't vote, so it's like, we can't be mad at each other. We could just, it was good. Yeah. I like when they do that.
But yeah, Aubrey won. I was happy with that win, given the final 3. Joe got 0 votes, as he should.
Was he the one on your team?
No, Jonathan was on my team, so like I would have accepted my win, but I wanted Rizzo, Tiffany, Jonathan. Oh wait, Rizzo, Tiffany, Aubrey, Jonathan, Joe is the order I would have accepted a win. So Aubrey was...
first 2 gone. Yeah. Aubrey's your next highest. Okay. So overall you have some notes for Survivor.
Yes. Very annoyed. And I'm worried about 51 because they're combining every twist they've ever had in Survivor. And I said, you just did the fucking most insane thing in All Stars.
You know what they should do? They should bring back Survivor Africa and put them in the...
That's what
sleeping next to lions again and some shit.
Go back to the original. Go back to changing locations. Like, make it simple again.
I miss when it was literally like, the show was, are we going to make it through the night?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Are we going to be able to vote? Let's try to survive for literally. Now we're all going to survive and it's fine because they've killed all the wildlife on these Fiji Islands at this point. There's nothing except Zach Brown's fishing spear. Yeah. So like, but I miss when it was like, someone needs to keep watch because like the lions might attack us or like we were burning. This is terrible. But remember when that one guy like burnt his hand off? That was crazy. The Outback, they went to the fucking, that's crazy shit.
I know.
That was, I don't know legally.
You have to boil water because it could have bacteria in it. Now we're just given like a water machine basically. It's like, oh, fill up your
Listen, I don't know the legality of it. But
it's financial. They bought part of an island, and so it's just easier to stay put. And I get that, but like, give us one every like 5 seasons where you move.
Yeah, and let people know. Be like, hey, in 2 years, we're going to do the one where we go to the Outback. So if, like, you cannot make fire, do not sign up. You know what I mean?
You know what? If you're not going to move, bring back the themes. They used to do heroes versus villains. They used to do
Beauty, Brawn, Beauty. Yeah, that was a good one.
Give me something fun. Blood versus water. Like,
that was fun. On. Yeah, they had some really fun ones. I always thought Brain, Beauty, and Brawn was like a really interesting one.
Me too.
Yeah, I love heroes versus villains. And that's always a good way to bring old people back.
Do that again.
Like that wasn't that that was like the Black Widow Brigade. That was great, dude. Yeah. That was great. I'm pretty sure
that's where Parvati got her win.
It was either Poverty or... No, I think Suri got it. Sandra got it. You're right. Suri was good, guys. Yeah, you're right.
To the point where Suri got an award at the finale called like the Fire Award. Jeff was like, this is a one-time award. We're never doing this again.
Yeah,
because it's like, She deserves the respect of, she is the best
She's so
player.
good. Yeah.
I was so impressed that she made it as far as she did, because in episode one person was like, we got to get her out. She is so good at this game.
She's so good.
And then Jeff mentioned that producers would come home after filming with Suri all day and be like, I don't know how she does it. Like, she is able to move the game without anybody thinking it's her every single day.
Yeah. No, you're right. Suri has never won. It was Sandra who won that one.
Yeah.
There was that one season, like, they do a good job where there was another group of, like, remember when Eric, the dumbest survivor ever, gave his immunity to the girls, and Suri was the one that, like, calculated that whole move? And she was like, Amanda, just, like, convince, or one of them, Michelle, someone. She was like, convince him you're going to get voted out. But that was a really good season.
Iconic.
Because it was all women in the finale. Parvati was in that one, too. That's what I was thinking of. But yeah, like, I loved Heroes vs. Villains. That was a really good one, because when you merge, it's like, what do? You know?
And I think something that's different about Survivor to other shows is we like the villains. Like, the villains are rooted for and are beloved in the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's just something like, I remember watching The Good Guys, I was like, yuck, their camp is so fucking boring. And then you cut to the villains and they're all fucking fighting with each other. But they're like, we have to stay united because, like, fuck the good guys.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
On Beauty, Brain, and Brawn, the brains were all, like, fighting with each other, which was weird. But they were all like, there was that one weird beef between that kid and then, like, the Cass and Spencer. They had that weird fucking beef, like, the whole time. Like, Spencer would just be like, as long as I beat Cass, I don't really care. Like, they just fully hated each other. But it was interesting because I thought the brains would have, like, worked together. And, like,
I know.
Yeah,
the Beauty ended up doing really well for being Beauty.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, bring back themes and make it more of, like, try to survive opposed to, like, try to survive the man-made messes we're giving you.
That is, the game players have too much of, like, the game maker has too much of a hand in the chaos. And it's like, it should truly be about strategy and making it through rather than, like, holding on for dear life through this chaos.
Bring back the original Hunger Games, okay? Stop with this new shit, okay? The game maker is too much.
Yes. That's okay. Survivor.
10 out of 10. Thanks for the recap.
No problem.
Are you listening to anything?
No.
Okay, I'm still listening to my Degrassi podcast, but I do want to
how's that going?
I want to do a wellness check because they release a new episode every 2 weeks because they're busy and they say it's our podcast, so, like, it doesn't fucking matter. Yeah. And so they do one every 2 weeks, but they haven't done one since, like, mid-April,
and there's now content still to be had? Like, there's episodes that should still be watched?
Well, yes. There's still episodes to be watched. We're at the beginning of season 14, so there's a whole season, but I don't know where they are. And I hope they're okay. And it reminded me of that, like, podcast that we were listening to, and then they stopped because one of them died or something. I remember I texted you, and I was like, what the fuck happened?
Whoa. I think it was Crime Junkie, where the wife's husband, the woman's husband died, but they were getting a divorce, and they were going to stop it. But they did bring it back.
Oh, interesting. But it was something like that where I hope everything's okay. I miss them. Like, I'm luckily not caught up, so I still have stuff. But every time I click on the thing to listen, I see that there's no new episode. And so I just don't, maybe they're on vacation. It's their podcast. They could do whatever they want. But I just miss them.
Because it's every 2 weeks, it's a little easier to record ahead around your life. But listen, no judgment. It is their podcast. They can do whatever they want.
People have lives, Meredith. And this isn't their main income. So they're just, they haven't released one since April 17th. So I'm just sad.
Whoa.
But I'm not caught up enough to know if they, like, announced
something. Go to their
something.
Instagram. Did they make an announcement?
I don't know.
Go to their Instagram.
I haven't looked into it. I just am. I'm assuming if they knew they were going to take a big break, they said something on the last episode, and I'm just not there yet. That's what I assume, where they would be like, okay, we'll be back in, like, 2 months because we're doing shit.
Yeah.
And I just don't know. But I missed them already. But I am excited because, like, I feel like if I catch up and once they come back, I'm going to be, like, so excited they're back.
And it's like you're in it. Like, you're live with them is always fun.
Yeah, I'm pumped with them.
How many episodes do you have left before you're like at that last one?
I'm like mid 13. I mean, I forgot how fast Degrassi goes from an after school special to a teen drama. Because, like, the beginning seasons, it was after school special in the sense of, like, here are things all teenagers might be in contact with, and we're just going to show you the worst thing that can happen. Like, all teenagers will talk to strangers on the internet. However, if you meet one, you might end up in a room and they might try to rape you, right? Like, that's what they show us. Or, like, hey, all teenagers will probably at some point have sex. We're just going to show you when the teenager gets pregnant and how you should tell a trusted adult. You know what I mean? Now it's like, we're in abusive relationships, but we tell no trusted adults because there are no adults anymore. And now we're just getting married at 18. And I'm like, this turned so quick. Before
Wait,
it was
the cast of season 13.
It's a lot of newbies, but like Claire and Allie are still around.
Yes.
Drew is there.
Are Allie and Drew together? Didn't she have a crush on him at the beginning?
Yes, but he's about to date Claire.
Right. Wait, Claire was with that goth guy.
Yeah, Eli.
Yeah.
But Eli, this is what I mean. Ready? The last episode I listened to, which I know where it's going because it reminded me, but basically, Drew was engaged to Bianca. Bianca goes to college. Drew gets held back because they need him on the show. So he's still in high school. And then Eli goes to NYU, and Claire is in high school still. She gets cancer. So that I know.
I did not make it this far, but I know who all these people are.
Because these are this is like their last season, I think.
Yeah.
She gets cancer. And so Eli like is under a lot of stress with NYU and a job and like Clara's cancer and stuff. And then Drew's brother dies in a texting and driving. Here's the thing. They try to do after school special, like, don't text and drive. Why was he texting and driving in the woods trying to get to his girlfriend who he cheated on? You know what I mean? Like, it became too much.
Too much.
Anyway, so they're all kind of going through it. But then it's Canadian Thanksgiving. So Bianca comes back. She dumps Drew because she's like, it's stupid that we're 18 and engaged.
Yeah.
Hello. And then Eli comes back, but he cheated on Claire with Lenore, someone in film school. And so Claire and Drew are both very sad at the Thanksgiving presentation they're doing at the school.
Oh my God.
I don't know. And Drew is president and Claire is vice president. She's Veep. So they are in a closet together and they sadly kiss. But then Claire gets back with Eli because she's like, I still love him. And Drew's kind of like, well, wouldn't you date me? And you know what's going to happen is Claire is going to become pregnant and she's not going to know if it's Drew or Eli's.
She slept with Drew in the closet?
No, not yet, but she will. She will sleep with
that's where this is going.
Drew eventually, and then that's a thing. And then Allie is in an abusive relationship with a man she met in Paris, and he transferred to University of Toronto, and now he's beating the shit out of her. But her parents love him. Yeah, no, see, it turns so quick into like a teen drama.
It's because they add too many levels to the dramatic story where you're right. Like the texting and driving is dramatic on its own because obviously the kid dies. Is like we didn't have to add the woods and him driving to the partner that he cheated on.
Yeah, the main thing was always like, tell your friends or a trusted adult and they will help you, or like lean on people. Like, my God, one whole episode was about like Emma getting her period and how periods are normal for girls. And now we're like getting the shit beat out of us. Like, I just can't. It's a lot. There's like a lot.
Especially with all those storylines happening all at the same time.
Oh my God, I'm exhausted. Yeah, and then Allie's like, oh, I'm going to marry this French guy so he can stay in the country. And both her friends are like, that's
17 years old.
That's a bad idea, but they don't tell trusted adults. We're missing the trusted adults. That was the thing. It was like, who saves Emma from a stranger on the internet? Her mother. You know what I mean? Because her friends told her mom. When Manny was pregnant, who'd she tell? Her mother, and her mother took her to get an abortion. When Craig was mentally struggling with his bipolar disorder, who did he tell? Joey. When Marco was gay, Who did he tell? I don't know, actually. I think Marco's family was homophobic.
What a big struggle, coming out as gay. It's like, that used to be the biggest problem.
He ditched the coolest girl at Degrassi for his mom's pasta sauce. I'll never forget that. The pasta sauce. I'm gay. That was awesome. But, like, that used to be the thing. Someone coming out as gay. Now it's, like nutty. Like, I can't keep track.
I have an abusive boyfriend I'm trying to keep in the country, so at 17 I'm going to get engaged.
Yeah, it's crazy. And also, my parents think I fell down some stairs, and that's why I bruised my eye.
And her parents are, like, the most
No, literally. Strict. So strict. No, literally, I don't know what happened. Like, we've lost the plot. The writers, I don't know where they went. Like, one kid used to just have autism. That was his struggle. Yeah. And now where is he? We don't know. He's still on the show somewhere.
We've already done that storyline, so we constantly have to level it up. This is the problem when shows get to, like, 15 seasons, is we've lost it.
Like, there was a whole episode in, like, season 1 about, I don't know if this is a derogatory term, because I've never heard of it except on Degrassi, squeegee kids. And they were kids.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
They were low-income kids who used to, like, I don't know, in the 90s, early 2000s, like, you know how you would get a car wash and then, like, someone would squeegee your car? These kids would, like, wet people's cars and then, like, squeegee it and ask for money because they were low income. And the whole episode was, like, Emma's like, ew, squeegee kids, you know, like, gross. And then someone's like, not all of us can have money, Emma. And then you'll learn about the class society and low income and, like, hello? What happened? We lost the plot.
We lost the plot.
Anyway, I hope my Degrassi podcast is doing okay.
That, and don't forget to reach out to your trusted adults.
No, literally. Just tell an adult. They'll make it feel better.
When your French boyfriend is beating you at 17 years old, reach out to your trusted adult, please.
If you had told me, I would have beat the shit out of him too and then called the police. Because that's what a trusted... For some reason, and we were all there, teenagers don't
have their frontal lobe develop.
Hello? All these problems are really easy to solve. But they're not telling any trusted adults. So it lasts 20 episodes to solve. And remember when also that we used to solve problems in 30 minutes?
Yeah.
I miss when people were just coming out as gay. Like, that was a big problem we could just deal with.
I understand.
Terrible. Anyway, shout out to Degrassi.
Shout out to Degrassi. Hope the podcast comes back.
What an episode. Do all the things I mentioned at the beginning. And with that, love ya.
Thanks for joining. Bye.